Hi there, gardeners. I thought I would share an update with all of you on all of the sprouts that I started a few weeks ago. I think it's been, I should look back if it's been 2 weeks. I guess it's been 2 weeks. I've got this is my little chart that I drew to familiarize myself again with what is growing where. But it's something, this is a really hard part of the process, and that is thinning the extra seeds. So I'm specifically looking at my tomatoes. This one especially. You can see there's 4 tomato plants in there, and it breaks my heart to do this. But if I leave more than one, it will just grow really big. This is called a Rutger, and it's a bigger tomato plant. So I can't have 4 of them in one. I'm just gonna throw those on the side. So I'm gonna cut out 2 of them. And then here's what I can do. I can use a knife and I can slice between the 2 of them and separate the 2 halves of that rock wool. I won't do it right now because I need another piece of rock wool, but I'll take an additional piece of rock wool, soak it, cut it in half, and then when I cut these 2 in half, I can use an elastic band and I can make 2 separate tomato plants rather than kill the extra one. I don't know, why is it so hard to get rid of extra seeds that have sprouted? Yeah, but I cannot leave 2 or they'll just be too crowded together and they won't thrive this summer. And then this one beside I'm laughing at. I must have dropped some seeds in between the rock wool. So there's like a cluster of tomato seeds growing right here on the outside. So I might actually, and there's only one in the middle, so I might actually slice that off and I'll probably be able to plant those separately in soil. Now I'll grow as many tomatoes as I can in my tower gardens, but you can only fit about 2 to 3 plants per tower when it's indeterminate tomatoes like this because they just grow so large. Those ones that I moved to soil, they just simply won't do as well. They won't thrive as well in the soil as they do in the tower garden, because in the tower garden, it's consistently there to water and feed the plants. Whereas anything that's planted in soil, unless I paid for some soil testing to figure out what exactly is going on with my soil, there's no way for me to know exactly what they're gonna need and how to make them thrive the way the rest of the plants do in the tower garden. These are tomatillos. And again, there's about 4 there. So I'm going to just snip out a couple of those little ones. So there's 2 now, and I'll come back and split those. But this is sort of when the plants are this small, it's your chance to go through and do any of that necessary thinning. There, that one has 1 plant now. The other 2, I cut the other 2. So that tomatillo is gonna be fine, not overcrowded. And this also is when even lettuce, there's just too many there. So I overdid it with the seeds. It's pretty easy to do that with lettuce seeds. With the lettuce, I'm gonna eat those little ones. That's nice. And I'm going to thin them. I'm gonna leave 2. So 2 is okay for lettuce. It's not okay for tomato plants, which get huge. And then just gonna check, we'll row 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These are bok choy. Let's pull these bok choy out of here. So there's 1, 2, and then there's 2 little ones next to that. I'm gonna take those out so that I just have 2. And then this one behind it is really excessively crowded. I'm going to have to cut. Notice how if I pull them out, I find that damages the ones beside them. I'm better off to snip them. And I know anybody who's a seamstress is laughing at my little scissors. Yes, these are designed for snipping strings for anybody who's into sewing, but sewing is not my forte. I used to like doing a little as a kid, but there we go. There's two. And then what's below that that's really crowded? Oh, that's celery. Well, the celery seeds sprouted really well. Look at how many are there. I'm gonna definitely have to thin those out. Those are green celery, which grow quite large. I'm gonna have to thin that so there's probably only one really. I really should go down to one because a celery will get quite large. So I'm gonna leave that one sitting up a little, but I'm gonna switch trays here. Just gonna set that one there and switch papers. This is my other tray where I've got, this is an entire row of cucumbers. Two of them have not come up yet, but all of those are okay. There's one plant each. Then these rows behind are melons, and they're like they're called a peach mango melon. They grow about the size of a peach and they taste a lot like mangoes. And thanks to the tower garden, I can start them this time of year, put them in my tower garden in the next couple days, get that beautiful light and all those nutrients growing them, let them grow until it's warm enough to grow outside. So I've added a big chunk onto the start of the season. Then once it's warm enough outside, I can pump the water out of my tower garden, put the lights off the tower garden into storage, and take that tower garden. The shell is light and easy to move. It holds all the plants. It's all held together so it won't fall apart. Move that outside to where I want my melons growing outside. Those I'm probably actually going to put inside my greenhouse. So I'll put that tower garden inside the greenhouse. Then I'll add the water back into that tower garden, and that puts the weight back in. A full flex tower is over 150 pounds just of water, because that's what 20 gallons of water weighs. And that will be growing outside. Then in the fall, I'm able to add a little heat to that greenhouse to keep it going a little extra long to finish those melons if they're not done. But the melons will thrive just like the tomatoes, better in the tower garden than they would in soil because they're going to have that constant watering. Okay, last experiment. You can see these tall ones here. I've got some peas, and one of them was really tall, and I decided to snip it off and top it. And I want to see, it was this tallest one. I want to see if topping that is going to cause the plant to bush out and produce more side vines rather than one main. I'm not sure if that's the correct thing to do or not. If there's anybody who knows more about gardening and peas than I do, let me know if that was a good idea or a bad idea. It was just 1 out of the 4. I've just thrown in some peas because they're delicious. Everyone loves baby peas. No 4 plants are not going to be enough to feed our family, but it's going to be a nice snack that we'll get a couple rounds of peas out of long before anything in the garden is going to be outside. Just going to show you. It's still very much not beautiful out here. It was cold all day today. It didn't get above freezing. Let's see if I can set you guys back down. So yeah, happy Tower Tuesday. Things are sprouting. I'm going to be setting up some tower gardens to put all of these cucumbers in, all of the tomatoes. The extra tomatoes will end up getting transplanted to soil, and you can do that. You can start things in your rock wool, get them growing in your tower garden, and then transplant them into soil. It's okay to do that. These ones are radishes, which, yes, radishes are a root vegetable, but they're not a root vegetable that's going to get so large it's going to absolutely plug the tower garden. What these are going to do is I'm not growing them so that I can eat the radish. I'm growing them so that they can go to flower, and we're going to eat the little seed pods that they make. And the number of seed pods that you get far exceeds just eating the one radish that that plant produces. And the seed pods taste like the radish, but without the heat. So you get that nice crunchiness and that kind of a, not without the fiery part of the flavor. And I really enjoy them. They're little wee flowers. You can eat the flowers as well. You can throw them into salads. But yeah, if you've ever grown radishes just for roots, try leaving a few go to try to flower and go to seed, because those are delicious as well. They there's actually recipes for, you can do pickled radish pods. I don't know if that's what they call them, or seed pods, I'm not sure. But yeah, and these ones, these big ones up here, I didn't show you guys. Oh look, there's roots sticking out of them. See the roots sticking out? Those are nasturtiums, which is an edible flower. They add a nice peppery taste. They look beautiful. They'll add some nice spring color. Those are growing quickly. So you can see some of these are very ready to go into a tower garden. Others need a little bit of time, but we're getting there. Plants just aren't designed to all grow at the same speed. Happy Tower Tuesday. Hope everybody is doing well. If you have any questions, be sure to send me a messenger. You can send me an email. You can drop a comment below, or messaging me is probably the easiest. That way I can really focus and make sure I answer your question. Have a great night.